you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test. Test.
Test.
Test. Test.
4, 3.
And welcome back to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick, alongside my co-anchors Gen X Brian and Floor Cookie, the Zennial Dean. That's right. So with the Super Bowl fresh on our minds, thought since we're in the sport spirit, why not discuss
But that was
some
like
of our
a goddamn month ago.
favorite sport-themed television series.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that involve whatever sport. So Dean, why don't you give us a start out this week? What kind of sports themed shows you got?
This was actually a lot of fun. I'm not going to do a read. I actually have to put these on. I honestly, lately, I have really noticed how bad my eyes are getting for reading. So, all right.
It's never been a better time to call McNamara Optical with you.
All right. Number 1 on my list is number 1 in my heart. I'm going with Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is heartwarming as it is funny, and the drama that is written into it. It is probably one of the most. I'll go out on a limb and say one of the most perfect shows in television. Ted Lasso. If you haven't seen it, Apple TV. 5 seasons, 4 seasons, something like that. Brilliantly written. Do I have to explain the premise? I mean, he's a kind of a B-level mid college football coach, and he goes into England to coach one of the premier soccer clubs. And it's fantastic.
Yep.
So, Ted Lasso.
I have Ted Lasso on my list as well, and I'm not even done. I'm nowhere near even done with that series. I'm not halfway through that series,
that's
but
good,
I've enjoyed a lot of what I've seen of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
Brian, you're next.
One of my favorite shows ever that was sports related. Now, this is back in 2009 to 2015. It ran. Looks like you can find it on Hulu now. The League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So about a bunch of friends that were in a fantasy football league. That's The League, and just hilarious interactions, way over the top premises and things, but just a great comedy cast. It included Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas, who went on to do the How Did This Get Made podcast, which is one of my favorite podcasts too, where they make fun of bad movies, basically. But just a lot of funny people in this and goofy.
Nick, have you ever seen
The League?
Yeah.
Yes, it's on my list as well. Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Actually, I changed it because it was on mine too. So
yep.
All right, well, there you go.
Replace it.
Yeah. Great show, funny, and it's worth probably a rewatch, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've actually rewatched it probably three times.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good show.
Nikolai?
My next one, it might be my favorite sports show, even though it centers around a sport in which I don't really watch much of, but it would have to be Eastbound and Down. Danny McBride, 4 seasons of it on HBO, where he is basically a flash in the pan baseball pitcher, washed up and just kind of a piece of shit, trying to get his life back together. Huh?
Think John Rocker.
John Rocker.
Brian, you know who that is? From the Atlanta Braves. He was a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves in the late 90s. And kind of actually from what I
for Cleveland too. Pitched for Cleveland too.
Very briefly. But from what I hear, it was loosely based. The character was loosely based on John Rocker.
Oh, okay.
The guy was a nut. He would sprint out on the field, out of the dugout and stuff. Just a crazy dude.
And actually, he got in a altercation fight this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, with Patrick Mahomes' father. So look that video up. There's a video. John
Yeah.
Rocker, Patrick Mahomes Sr. Google that video.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He sounds
Great.
like a gem. I'm on board.
Now they're going back and forth on Twitter about it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Eastbound and Down was fantastic. They did 3 seasons and then took a little bit of a break and then came back for a fourth. And yeah, it's just Danny McBride being the typical character that you've seen Danny McBride in everything else he's done. But it's just fantastic. It's really well done. It's hilarious. A lot of the side characters are great. Craig Robinson is phenomenal in it. Yeah, Will Ferrell's character that he's in off and on is great. A lot of great acting in there. But Eastbound and Down would strongly recommend.
fantastic.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell 2 enemies.
All right, my next one, we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine, back to the old 1987, 88. I'm going Coach.
Yeah.
Sure.
Craig T. Nelson as Hayden. Shit. I could have looked that one up. But Craig T. Nelson plays coach for a Minnesota football college team. And you have Jerry Van Dyke as his second in command, which is Dick Van Dyke's brother.
Mm-hmm.
It ran, I don't even know. I could have looked that up too. I probably should have Googled that, but Coach was probably, as a child, one of my favorite shows. And it was one of those that I probably shouldn't have enjoyed, of how probably adult it was, or probably, given on its terms and whatnot. It was probably older than I probably should have been watching, but I love Dauber and yeah, it was the whole thing was fantastic. Coach.
89 to 97, Dean.
89 to
97.
I didn't realize it ran until 97. That's
97.
yeah.
Holy!
I would have
shit.
guessed like 94 or something. You know what I mean?
Me too. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Coach was fantastic. Loved Coach.
Nice.
That's my next one. Number 2.
Brian, what you got?
I have Winning Time.
God
This was
damn it. You guys are
limited.
taking all my shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
This was rough.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had to I have a bunch of honorable mentions just so I could choose something if you guys chose the same ones. This was a good topic.
2022. So it's sort of loosely based, I guess, of the actual story of Dr. Buss buying the Lakers and drafting Magic Johnson and kind of building up getting Pat Riley as the coach. And they show like the first, it was 2 seasons of it. The first one was like, the year they drafted Magic Johnson, like in 1980, I think it was, 79, 80. And then they fast forward, talking about the rivalry with Larry Bird and everything. I'd like to see more, but just the performance of John C. Riley as Dr. Buss, and the guy that played Magic Johnson, Quincy Isaiah, was also quite good as Magic Johnson, another supporting cast. So very entertaining and just a lot of nostalgia, man. Yeah. If you
Great
like
show.
that era of basketball or just the 80s in general and everything, it was the fashion, the music, everything. It was good, and they really did something special out there. You got to hand it to them. I hated the Lakers as a kid growing up because I was a Celtics fan, wearing a Larry Bird college jersey right now, Indiana State, number 33. But you had to respect the Lakers, man. They were good. They had the most championships in the 80s, and the team that he built, that's where they all started. So,
yeah,
Winning Time. Check it out. It's on Max.
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
Nice. Good. All right. This is one of my favorite new shows, and it's a spinoff of another show that I love, but it is Shoresy. It is a spinoff of Letterkenny. It's better than Letterkenny. It's so fucking good. They're getting ready to start their 4th season now, and it revolves just around a minor league hockey player, like I said, that began in Letterkenny.
I watched that backwards once.
Yeah, right. Yeah, didn't you watch the very last episode of the first season first? Is that right?
Yeah, I got high and I watched the finale and just
Yep.
worked my way backwards up until the
Yeah,
didn't
it's
really.
incredible though. It's funny and it's the type
Really funny.
of humor that you would expect if you're familiar with Letterkenny. It's the same. I
Mhm.
mean, Jared Queso made it. It's the same type of thing. But it's there's a lot of heartfelt moments in it too. It really like brings together, I feel like, the camaraderie of the sport and also like the ridiculousness in some ways, and things in hockey culture. But there's a lot of really heartfelt moments in it and stuff like that. It's just a really well done show. So
What
I
season are
love
they
Shoresy. So just starting
Okay,
number 4. Yeah,
I need to
but
pick
yeah,
that back up.
great show.
All right. I'm gonna go. You call it a sport, you call it a performance, but professional wrestling, there is athleticism. So I'm gonna go with Glow.
On my list. Yep.
Allison Brie, Betty Gippin,
Mark Maron.
Mark Maron, like fucking probably one of Mark Maron's best performances.
Sure.
Just fantastic. The whole show. It's a shame that it got cut short when it did.
Yeah.
But hey, it's Netflix. That's what they do. Is put on really good shows and then fucking cut them off at the knees.
Yeah, too bad.
Just when they're going to get really, really good. So
Yeah.
But yeah, Glow was fantastic. It was one of those where I'm a professional wrestling fan, and I was worried about watching it because I thought it was going to be cheesy, and I kind of have that. That's why I don't watch a lot of professional wrestling movies or TV because I'm afraid of how awful they're going to make me feel about watching professional wrestling. But no, Glow was just the opposite. It made me excited. It made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. The wrestling was good. It didn't look cheesy or fake. Yes, I understand that it's fake in general, but I'm saying is some portrayals of it make it look like just god awful. This did not do it. It showed like what those girls actually went through and the stories behind it. It's loosely based. I understand that, but yeah, fantastic show. Loved it. Glow is number 3 on my list.
Nice.
Yeah, they did good about showing the character to like their persona development and everything.
Yeah.
It was fun. It just the whole thing was great. Like I said, I'm with you. I was very disappointed when that stopped.
And not to be a total piece of shit, but I applaud it because Allison Brie was topless in the first, like one of the first scenes of that show.
That's right.
So I appreciate that.
Swinging.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, rumors says she's going to play something in one of the Marvel or DC universe. I'm not exactly sure. I think I saw something there. So we'll hope to see her soon.
I sure hope there's a villain or a superhero named Tits McGee.
I know what it is. She's going to be in the Masters of the Universe live action movie. That's what it is.
That's right.
That's what I saw her
Okay.
casted in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yep. Okay, so well, I'm sure it's another one on Dean's list. Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Did I skip you? Did I skip somebody?
No, but
Nope, you're
Okay.
up next.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna change mine here. Yeah.
Cobra Kai. I mean, Dean touched on it earlier. That the final episodes just dropped here. And what he said earlier, there's not much more to say. Just super fun. You just have to lower expectations if you're a fan of the 80s movies in general. That whole feel. Certainly the original Karate Kid movies. It'd be entertaining. It's goofy. It's the story takes twists and turns. Somebody's friends one day, they're enemies the next day. It's a whole thing. So
It's a popcorn watch.
Yeah, it really is. But the character arcs are fun and interesting. Johnny. It's nice to see him as the villain, which really wasn't really at the end of the day in the Cobra and the Karate Kid movies, but to see him have a nice life, just a lot of fun.
Baby face, and LaRusso, he was the heel. Rewatch Karate Kid.
That's right. All right, Nick.
Alrighty. Next up, you guys are taking all mine, so I'm going to move on down the list. This is one that's a fringe one, and I'm going to throw it in because it is there's a sport throughout it. I'm gonna go with hanging with Mr. Cooper. He was a basketball coach, a former basketball star and basketball coach. It was a fun little '90s sitcom. Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I enjoyed it. It wasn't originally going to make my list, but I'm going to throw Hanging with Mr. Cooper in there. And we are, yes.
Is the dude still alive? What was his name?
Shit, I don't know. Yeah.
I think he's probably still alive. I don't know.
Great commentary on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. He's still alive? Hey, he's probably still alive.
Yeah, he's probably still alive, right?
You don't get in-depth broadcasting like this anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen.
Especially for sports. I mean, if you want sports broadcasting, this is where you come.
See what you've been missing, India? See that? Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So from 1998 to 2000 is Sports Night. It was Aaron Sorkin's vehicle. If you liked like the West Wing, because Aaron Sorkin did that. It is the same kind of walking, talking, fast-paced conversation. It was about a ESPN type channel network, and their lead anchors, their main 8 o'clock whatever lead anchors, and it was how the show got prepared, how the show got ready to air and during air, and all the behind the scenes of a television show made like an ESPN television show. If you haven't watched it, hell, I don't know where you could watch it. Google it, you'll find it. But
Sounds interesting.
Sports Night, 1998, fantastic show. Loved it when it aired. It only lasted a couple seasons. Definitely worth the 2-season watch or 3. Sports Night.
Nice. That sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, it was a fantastic show. If you like that fast-paced talking, like the West Wing, like the walking and talking shots, that's really what it was.
Okay.
Well written, very smart, where you have to suspend your disbelief of like every single person in this building has the most immaculate vocabulary. Mm-hmm. Once you take that and go, okay, that's what I have to give in order to receive, this good show. You have to give that. So, but yeah, Sports Night's fantastic. Brian,
very good. Another one, probably at least on Dean's list, I'm sure. Ran 2017 to 2020. The very funny Hank Azaria and Amanda Peet co-star in Brockmire. Brockmire was
damn it,
kind of an alcoholic. Not kind of. He was an alcoholic, former broadcaster, very famous broadcaster, trying to get back into, get back into the broadcasting world, and finds a job at a minor league baseball team or something like that.
It's like a UFC channel, not UFC. The IFC, independent
film channel. Yeah,
I believe that's where it was on. One of my favorite shows. Like it was so fucking brilliant, and they were able to push the line farther than they would have if it was on ABC or hell, even a USA network. Yeah. IFC, they were able to curse. It was probably a 10 o'clock show. Just brilliantly written. It was such a great merging of like fictional and non-fictional, because they had actual sports stars, sports writers, broadcasters co-star on it. Fantastic show. Love it.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, it was good to see Hank Azaria doing a live show, because certainly he was you're so used to hearing his voice talents on The Simpsons. Yeah, it was very good. And those two played well off each other, so like 4 seasons, I think it was. And you can find it on, looks like Sling TV for free and some other free channel, Roku channel.
I'm sure if you typed into Tubi, it would be there.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's out there. So yeah, very funny. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Nice. All right. My next one I'm going to go with. So this one is not does not revolve around a specific sport, and it doesn't really revolve around sports at all, but it has sports throughout it. and I appreciate that. My favorite person in all of pop culture and acting anything right now is Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave, and he had a sitcom before that got super popular with his buddy Sam Richardson, which was called Detroiters. Fucking love that show, so goddamn good. There was, I believe, 3 seasons of it that they did, and it's in Detroit. They run an ad agency, but there is everything they do is Detroit centric from the show, and even on their socials and stuff like that, everything's about the Lions. They're huge Lions fans, but throughout the show there's plenty of Red Wings, Pistons, Lions. Jim Harbaugh's in an episode when he was still coaching U of M. There's Pistons players in another episode. Like they always incorporate Detroit, the city of Detroit, and then are big sports fans as well. So they always did a good job of incorporating Detroit sports and into their show.
What's U of M stand for? University of Meh.
University of. They beat Ohio State, so I don't. The University of we had a shitty season, but we still beat Ohio State. There you go. There it is.
All right.
But yeah. So, but yeah, Detroiters. Like I said, it does not revolve around a sport. It doesn't have any specific sport in it, but there is a common theme of Michigan and Detroit sports throughout it. So, Detroiters, and Tim Robinson is a gem.
Fantastic.
Dane?
All right. You guys put me into a corner. I know I've already done one, but like you guys have we've all kind of mixed our own shows the same as each other on all these. So you backed me into a corner. I know I've done one professional wrestling show, but I have to go Monday Night Raw. The king of my sports fandom, right?
Mm-hmm.
January 11th, 1993 was the first episode of Monday Night Raw. I'd watched wrestling since I was a child. Saturday mornings, where you'd wake up and you'd watch the big guys beat up the jobbers, the no-name people. That's what you watched growing up until you got to the WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble pay-per-views. Monday Night Raw gave you a chance to see these guys on a weekly basis live, or a week taped. But it gave you something to watch. It was my it's been the staple in my TV watching since I was a child in 1993, and I have kept up on it. I still watch it. I love it. You guys know I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling. Monday Night Raw is my pick. It's because you guys took all the other. You guys even went through my honorable mentions. So
Yeah, same.
Monday Night Raw.
Ted Lasso, Winning Time, The League. I have all on my list.
I got Eastbound and Down. Hell, This last one I changed 3 times because you guys kept taking my last pick.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Monday Night Raw is my pick.
All right.
There you go. Well, I had Glow. I'm going to replace Glow. 2003. Now, you cannot find this anywhere except for the DVD right now. This was an original series produced by ESPN, which you don't hear. This was, not a documentary. This was an original series about a fictional professional football team, Playmakers. You ever see Playmakers before?
I remember Playmakers.
Playmakers. I don't recall that.
Yeah.
It was so true to, it was so in line, or so a little bit too close to the mark in NFL, and they pulled it. The NFL complained or whatever it was, and it was like, hey, so ESPN had to, 1 season it lasted, and that was it. You cannot find it.
That's right.
Anywhere except for DVDs. I got a box set as a gift, and it was very 2003. Right, so it took you behind the scenes of guys, playing through pain, drugs, and just kind of the dirty world behind professional football.
It's almost a TV series like Any Given Sunday, the movie. You know what I mean? Like that
Well,
whole like the lifestyle, the thing that the stuff that's a lot of the off the field kind of stuff that they deal with as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the box set as a gift. I might have tried to give it away to one of you guys. I don't really remember now, so I don't know if it made the move out here or not. I may have donated it. I don't remember, but if I still have it, if you want to see it, you can borrow it. I'll take a look through my stuff. But very, very good. Very dramatic series.
And person went on to do anything else. I'm looking at the cast now. I don't recognize any of these people.
Nope. Yeah, it was just but it was.
What network was it on?
It was an ESPN. It was an ESPN.
Okay.
I think it was their only time. It was their
their original. Yep.
Yeah, they tried to get into some original series, and the NFL said, and that was it. Gone.
Yeah.
Done. So, but
it was a good one.
It was very powerful. Very good. Yep.
All right. For my last one, I'll give you another professional wrestling one here. It is not a scripted show, but it is a TV series nonetheless. Dark Side of the Ring on Vice is a phenomenal show. It's so much, like Dean, further back than I can remember, loving and watching professional wrestling. I mean, I don't remember when I first saw it. It just was always there, and loved it all through childhood and watched it religiously. And it was such a big part of growing up and everything.
Everything you just said, I actually write about Brian in my private blog.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Dark Side of the Ring is phenomenal. So much, and there's so many. It's a documentary series, and there's so many.
Mine's entitled "The Dark Side of His Ring." Sorry, go ahead.
I watched that. So many wrestlers that are a spotlight in that show that you grew up watching, and you hear these sad and terrible tales about. This show is so
Snuka.
But the show's so
30
well
men,
done.
30 men enter, one man leaves.
One man leaves. That's right. 30 men enter, one man.
Callback joke.
That's an old one.
That's good.
Talk about Megan and so funny. It's one of the funniest moments ever. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, it's so. Anyway, it was so good that even when it's an episode about a wrestler that I'm not very familiar with, like it's still totally entertaining.
You're totally vested by the end.
Yeah. So dark, and they've done different spin-offs. It started with Dark Side of the Ring, but there's Dark Side of reality TVs, and Dark Side of the '90s, and Dark Side of comedies. Great, dude. Dark Side of the 2000s, and this and that. But yeah, Vice. I don't think Vice does anything that's not super fucking entertaining. So, but Dark Side of the Ring is where it all started. Right. So, that's definitely one for me. And I'm actually kind of glad that the list went so long because I don't know if I would have thought to reach out to a documentary series if not. So, yeah, Dark Side of the Ring definitely belongs up there.
Very good.
And that's it. Fuckers.
That's the way we do it.
That's right.
Any honorable mentions?
Not now. Nope.
We went through them all.
I had two clipped. I recommended this last year, 2024, limited series on FX. You can find that as the documentary. It's a story based on, I should say, not a documentary, but it's based on the former owner of the LA Clippers basketball team, Donald Sterling, who was banned from the league. The great Ed O'Neill plays Donald Sterling. Not an easy watch. The guy was a real tool, racist, the whole bit, but true story of how he was ousted by the NBA and eventually the team was sold to the current ownership. And all the way back, I used to watch this once in a while. Now, Dean, you may remember, Nick does not know the show at all. This was like in the, I want to say late 70s, early 80s, perhaps here. The White Shadow, Dean.
I do not recall.
The White Shadow was a story of a white basketball coach that coached at a inner city high school, and it was like his team was all black, and he had to kind of learn to relate to the team and the kids and everything. It's kind of a feel good, family type show, but they called him kind of a, that was their nickname for him, was the White Shadow. So,
I mean, for years, that's what I've been calling my penis, but yeah, I don't remember that show.
yeah. Yep. For the old Gen Xers out there, you might remember the White Shadow. That's it.
The White
That's all I got.
Shadow.
Yeah.
You call your penis that because you can see it but can't feel it?
All right.
There you go. Well, it's not
That
big enough
speaks
to be a
volumes. All right, there you
sundial.
go.
Thank you.
Oh, gentlemen, real quick. It is time for What Have You Learned? I don't know why I waited like there should be fucking music put under this. Maybe there is. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna tell you. I like. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
What have we learned? I'll tell you what I learned. I learned one of the. I got two. One is we need more titties in our Super Bowl halftime shows.
There you go.
There you go.
Nick, what did you learn?
I've learned that the longer the show goes, the worse the ad reads and segues get.
Yeah. I learned that a long time ago, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, you learn anything fun?
That over 17,000 people were didn't have enough time or something else better to do than to sign a petition to bring back the McDonald's snack wrap.
They're the real
you go.
American heroes.
Yes, that's right.
They
That's
should
right.
have a beer named after them.
Yeah.
Last one I had, piggybacks on Nick's. I just simply have written here, my ad reads can be better. They won't be, but they could be.
They could be
And
better.
you know what? Learning that and the acceptance of it is half the battle.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Thank you.
All righty. Well, I think that wraps it up, boys. That's about it. We've covered sports. We've covered all kinds of things.
Covered White Shadows.
We've covered White Shadows. And you,
Kidding me?
if you're a white person, can be a white shadow after you are gone and nothing but a shadow when you're on your electric bike.
Good Lord.
I'm sorry. I had to match Dean's terrible read energy. I felt I couldn't leave him hanging out to dry. Okay.
Appreciate that. I
Our
appreciate
friends at RPM Bike Shop deserve better, and so do you. And that's why we're introducing you to each other, so you can cut out this lousy middleman and you can get yourself on an electric bike from RPM Bike Shop. If you don't believe me, go check out their wonderful products. Go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, or go to the search bar on Facebook and type in RPM Bike Shop. There you can see pictures of the fantastical electric bikes they have to offer you. You can also give them a call, 330-808-7792 today, or hey, take a nice little day trip out to Carrollton, Ohio. It's not too far away. Go see an electric bike for yourself with your own eyes. Yes, that's right. RPM Bike Shop. You deserve better, RPM Bike Shop, and they deserve better reads, RPM Bike Shop.
Could you imagine the three of us on one of those bicycles
Like a
made
tandem, or like electric bike?
Yeah.
I would like to shoot a whole episode that way.
Yeah, the three of us on bicycle together
down the towpath.
You know what's ridiculous and we could never ever do, and the wind would be a nightmare, and also what's the point? But would be fun. One of those like the bicycle bar things on wheels where you have like you're at a bar and you're sitting on a stool and you got the bicycle. Yeah, I know.
We do.
Yeah,
we could do that.
We could do that.
Sure.
That'd
Annoy
be
the
fun.
shit out of everybody.
We don't actually have to make it a podcast. It would just be fun to do.
Yeah, we should actually do that. Yeah, in general this summer.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I like it.
Okay. Sounds good. It's a plan.
Neat.
You know what else is neat? The end of this show.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
We have been convincing idiots, ladies and gentlemen. And if you just can't get enough and for some reason you want more, then you need to go find us on all of the social media accounts that you're active on. You can find links to them by going to Google and typing in Convincing Idiots Linktree. You can follow the links to our social media accounts. Hell, you can even follow links to our merch store and so much more, or just head on over to our website, which is not rpmbikeshop.com. It is convincingidiots.wordpress.com.
whole episode.
I just wanted to be like, just roll into RPM Bike Shop. But you can also go to rpmbikeshop.com. But you will not find Convincing Idiots content. There you'd have to go to convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am the disheveled and frazzled millennial Nick.
I'm the floor cookie, Zennial Dean.
I'm the gray shadow, Gen X Brian.
The gray shadow.
Like it.
That's right. Have we convinced you to come back and join us for some more, perhaps sports, perhaps TV related, or other content in the future? Convincing Idiots.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody, Gen X Brian with Millennial Nick and Zennial Dean. We need more people besides Nick's mom watching us. Give us a like and subscribe.
Ham grape.
Nick, with the combination of the hood and the jacket, you look slightly homeless.
Thank you.
I mean, if you're going for that sort of thing, you look terrific. Brian, you look like a divorced dad ready to get into a pickup game he shouldn't at basketball.
Yeah, that's the look I was going for.
All right. I mean, just so you guys don't, feel that I'm just picking on you, I look gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
What do you do there?
You,
I don't know.
you kids over there at Prentice Park want to shoot some hoops?
Oh, you boys don't know what you're in for. Back in my day, I learned from Larry Bird.
That's
right. No, never heard of him? Let me tell you about this mustachioed fella.